I know you've spoken a bit about it already, but is there going to be a frustration for you this weekend if you haven't got him available? Because it seems like that, there are other cases that could affect Premier League clubs, but it seems like Kieran might be the big miss. There's almost like an inconsistency, and I imagine it'll be a frustration on your part that you'll be without a player and other clubs will be able to have players who have similarly been connected.
Well, it will be because we've been trying to do all the right things to keep the player safe. We know the history with the player and what happened the last few months with him as well. So we are very reassured that there isn't any risk for him to be involved with us. That's the case that we are defending really strongly with authorities, and hopefully this afternoon we will know more. But I will be extremely disappointed if he's not able to play at the weekend.
I was just going to say, can you give some detail in terms of who you've been speaking to and how far you've gone to try and get the situation resolved?
I'm sorry, but this is legal stuff and medical stuff that the clubs and the doctors are dealing with, and we cannot make any of that public.
Okay, no worries. Just on Thomas Partey and his signing, seems like a very significant signing because of the profile of player, the age he's at, the sort of caliber of player that you brought in. And he seems to be sort of in that peak period of his career and his time as a footballer. He's not like a young player that you've got to develop or someone at the latter end of his career. How significant is that sort of bringing somebody in like that?
Well, we need a balance between a lot of young players that we have in some breakthrough or development phases and others that are in peak or twilight of their career. And we believe that he was the right recruitment for us in terms of age, in terms of his history, his career, where he's been educated, the amount of experience that he has, the quality that he has to adapt to our game model, and as well to this very competitive league that we are involved in, and as well because of the numbers, we were really short in midfield, and we needed to strengthen that.
You're talking about the adaptation of players earlier on, but with Thomas, because he comes from one of the biggest leagues in Europe, he's played in the Champions League for the last however many years. Is there a sort of expectation on him to come in and have an impact maybe sooner and sort of big impact on the team as well?
Probably there is a lot of expectations, but I think we have to give always some time to players to adapt. The Spanish League and the Premier League are two completely different. The style of play of Atletico Madrid and ours, there are some big differences there as well. What is unquestionable is the quality of the player and the level that he's been playing at for the last 5 or 6 years. And that obviously will be a big help. And if he has the support of all the coaching staff, players, and fans that I can see, I think obviously the adaptation will be quick.
On the style of player that he is, and Atletico Madrid, I think obviously he became typecast as a certain type of central midfielder. But is there a lot more to come from him and that you expect him to be able to show at Arsenal, maybe because you play in a different sort of way? And what are those sort of qualities that you're hoping to bring out of him?
Well, I think he's going to give us a little bit more versatility in our way of playing. I think he can play in 2 or 3 different positions as well. When we're able to change formations or game plans against certain opponents, and I think he will give us something that's at the moment we don't have in the team.
Thanks, Mikel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick from The Guardian.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just going back to what Arsene Wenger was saying about Mesut Ozil, he also said, and we can apply this in a more general sense, if you like, that the way football has evolved with the quick transitions and the pressing and that kind of thing means that maybe the more technical, creative players have been, in his words, not mine, kicked out. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, you have to go then very much individually. And if it's just a player that is very highly technically, but nothing else, if he's a very complete player and brings a lot of things to the team, I don't know. We play with a lot of offensive players in our team, with a lot of talented players as well. But you have to find a way to fit them in, and they have to create this cohesion around the team to make the team function the best possible way. And this is our job. And what we're trying to do is with all the players that we have to manage and coach, try to adapt them into our systems or adapt our system to the players that we have to try to find the best possible performances.
But just having that technique or just having that final pass, it might have been enough 20 years ago, but it's maybe not enough now, is it?
No, I think Mesut showed over the years that he has much more to offer than that. And I don't like to talk just individually, but when you have the career that someone like him has, you have to have many more things to do that. When you've been German play, when you want World Cup, you want a lot of big tournaments, and you want a lot of big trophies for big teams. It's just much more than just one quality.
Sure. Can I ask, how did Mesut and Socrates take it when you told them that they were out of the squad? Did they react in a certain way?
Well, I spoke to them. I wanted to tell them obviously face to face before releasing the squad, and I explained the reason why, the numbers that we had, and that it was really difficult for me to tell them that, but this is the restriction, the rules, and they had to respect that decision and try to train the best possible way, help the team the way they can in that moment, and see what happens in December.
I mean, they're both 32 now. In fact, I think it's Mesut's birthday today. As somebody who's been a senior player as well, how hard is it to maintain that hunger? Maybe if you have a few setbacks later in your career and you've already achieved a lot, how can you keep that hunger to get back in?
Well, this is then down to us as well to try to find ways to motivate those players. I don't think the age is a big concern. I think when you are young as well and you have to accept a decision like that is really tough, because obviously you want to see your future building and evolving, and obviously it's a big stone in your way. But it's about how you react every time to disappointment, and try to look at the overall picture and make the right decisions afterwards.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thanks, Nick. Just a reminder